What's up, YouTube? CharminEXSoft here, coming at you guys with a brand new Friday the 13th game video. And today, we're going to be showing you guys a brand new update here in the virtual cabin that came out yesterday, showing you guys Jason's room, some Easter eggs, and even some hidden secrets hidden in this cabin right now. Now, some of the stuff has actually changed right here in the main room, and I'm going to show you that right here. And before we get started on that, though, I just wanted to go ahead and fix an error that I made in my Easter egg video. This keyboard right here, after watching some more movies and going back and searching for more stuff, I've discovered that this keyboard is actually from part 5. This one is not from part 1. There is 2 different keyboards. There is one in part 1, but this board particularly is from part 5. So keep that one in mind. That is my little mistake right there. But let's go ahead and show you some of the new stuff that they brought to the cabin, as things have changed a little bit. Now, not so much with the decorations. There is one new decoration that I found, but there is some new touchable items, as you could say. Now, you can see I'm looking around that gong. I'm going to show you here in a second. If we go up to doors and stuff, you can see we can go ahead and touch them, and they try to open, but we can't get in them. As you could hear, there's people also being murdered by Jason. You could hear that. The radio we already know is playable by pushing E. But going back to the gong that you saw me looking at, if I go ahead and push E on that, we get sound effects. Pretty cool, right? Now, the other thing. The couch is now sittable. We can go ahead, walk up to it, push E, and take a load off. Checking out the fire and whatnot. You can see the Necronomicon right there on the table. Maybe have a brewski. Whatever. Just a new hangout spot we have right here, guys. So it's pretty cool. Oh, and wouldn't you know it? There goes the Cuckoo Clock. I only find that this Cuckoo Clock activates when I'm sitting at this couch. So maybe that might lead to something later. I don't know. But the Cuckoo Clock only seems to activate when I'm sitting at the couch. Next, right here, you can see that the board has changed. It actually looks like they put it over top of the other one. I'm not sure if they're supposed to be layered like that, but this used to be a newspaper board, kind of, sort of, and now it's changed. You know, it's still a cork board. It just has different things on it. There's a phone number on it, whatnot, which led me somewhere as well, and I'll explain that in a little bit. But there is some more touchable things in here, I should say. And the next one, I should say, is this piano. You can go walk up to the piano. You can push a key. Let's see. Come on now. Do-do-do. If it'll play. There we go. Got to get it just right. You got to get it about the center of the screen or so. And then go ahead and push your E button or E key, and it should go ahead and start up. But see, there's your piano. Next one is more of a little bit of a hidden type thing. Now, we've seen the Jason mask in the typewriter before, but if you put the Jason mask in the center of the screen and you let it sit for just a little bit, it'll zoom in and listen.
Jason, my special, special boy, killed for mother.
Pretty cool stuff. Now, the next one I want to show you right here, I cannot take credit for. I'm going to tell you right now, I was looking on Twitter last night when I was searching for stuff myself, and Jason versus Omnigul, I believe it is, Omnivul, one of those sites. You guys have probably heard of him. I'm sure he's another YouTuber, another streamer. Go ahead and check him out, because the one I'm about to show you, he found last night. He's the first one to go ahead and discover this. So if you guys want to check out his channel, please go ahead and do that. That's a huge shout out for him. You know, I do want to make sure that people get credit when it's due, and he is the first one that found it. Now, these books are lookable as well. If you put them in the center of the screen, kind of zoom in on them, you can do them in any order, and this is going to activate that typewriter image that maybe some of you guys saw on Twitter. So that's the first one. Again, any order. It does not matter. I like to put the Necronomicon at the end just because, you know, I just like the Necronomicon. So you could start with it or you can put it in the middle. It doesn't matter. Just go ahead, check out the books, let them zoom in. That's 2. Moving on to the 3rd. You kind of have to get at the corner of that edge table there, between the table and the chair, to get this book. A little bit touchy. Took me a while to figure this out. But again, Jason versus Omnivul found it first, so I want to make sure he gets his credit. Alright. And put that Necronomicon right there, roughly. And listen. What is that sound? typewriter, maybe? And when you're zoomed in, if you want, you can go ahead and push A, or, you know, well, excuse me, I'm using a controller, so I say A. But you can push the E key, so go ahead and sit down if you want to. But you don't have to. But now that we've heard the typewriter, you can come over here, and yes, the typewriter has something in it. Now we can... Oh, Jason's walking by. What up, brother? He's going to burst through the door and kill me one of these days. All right. We can go ahead and take a seat, and you can see we have the Pamela Voorhees tapes right here. Now, there's a lot... I think Jason just killed somebody around the corner. Don't tell no one. Okay. Whew. Glad it wasn't me. Anyway, back to this paper here. You can see the Pamela Voorhees tapes right here. This is a rough draft, or I believe it is. Let's see, tape 1, June 14th, 1957. First draft, May 14th, 2016. So, to 2016, that's throwing me right there. I don't know, maybe this might be some sort of little bit to the new Jason movie that they're working on here, the new Friday the 13th. I'm not really sure, but you can see right here what it looks like if you go through reading this. I'm not going to read all this. There's quite a bit, but it is a plot set, what it looks like, where it's going back and forth, a conversation between a detective and Jason's mom, Pamela Voorhees, about the death of her son and everything. So it kind of sets the tone for her atmosphere, her mood, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, she's extremely pissed off. You could pretty much read it in here. It's kind of got a faded text, so I don't know how well you'll be able to see it here on YouTube. I'll hold it for a couple of seconds. If you guys want, you can go ahead and pause the screen and whatnot and maybe go ahead and read it again. There's quite a bit right here, so, you know, be my guest if you want to go ahead and read it. If you have the virtual cabin, then go ahead and check that out for yourself. You know, I've just shown you how to do that. Once again, that's a huge shout out to Jason versus Omnivore. He's the first one who found this, and again, because of his discovery, it got me looking for this particular thing. But I've also found something else in here that I don't know if anybody else has found, and I will show you that in just a second. Alright, so we've already learned that this cabin has things you can go ahead and look at now. And one of the cool things, this board particularly led me to that. You can see that there is a phone number on this board. Believe it or not, I actually picked up my phone and called this phone number like in real life. I know 555 is always used in movies and stuff, but I just wanted to double check, you know what I mean? And yeah, the phone number does not work if you call it on your phone. I've already done that. So it's an out of service number, but this little piece of paper up there, I think is a clue to something. At the very top, it looks like maybe some sort of cabins or even a path to walk. I'm unsure about that. I'm still trying to work that out in my head. Maybe some of you guys will already know, but that phone number led me to go ahead and try messing with this phone. I walked up to the phone and started punching keys on the keyboard. Now, you don't have to do this. The phone number does not work on the phone, but if you do stare at the phone for a little bit, right in the middle, oh, Jason's trying to break through. All right, so if you stare at the phone for a little bit, you'll see that it zooms in, and guess what else is going to happen? Starts to ring. Oh. I wonder if we should answer it. Let's do it. Now, did you hear that at the very end, right before he hung up? It sounded like something clicked. Like a tunk. Like a sound like that. You can go ahead and you can pick up the phone again. All you're going to get is a dial tone. You know, it'll hang itself up. If you try to go back to the phone, it's going to just literally not do another scream or anything like that. It'll keep giving you a dial tone. But what I found out, maybe you just saw it, that little tick sound that you just heard, come down here to that knot chart that I found in part 2, and look what just happened. Uh-oh. We're on the verge of unlocking something right here, guys. We'll check that out. This right here, this got me searching even more, and I'm still searching, guys. So let's go ahead and check out Jason's room. I found something else down here. Some of you guys may have already seen Jason's room. Maybe you're not. I'm going to show you this in more detail, but I want to show you how to put up the second mark on that chart. Alright, so we will check out the Jasons here in just a second. Bear with me. But this bed back here with the spear through it, it's kind of a reference to part 2. I'll show you that in a second. But if you put it about center of your screen and you put that little blob there, let it sit for about 12-15 seconds or so. Sometimes it takes a little bit to kind of get it going. It really does. Come on. There we go. And listen at the end. You hear it? You hear that little thud sound? I'm telling you, it sounds like we're unlocking something here. So we go back up the stairs here. Alright, walking through Jason's room. Come on with it. Go up the stairs. And now we have 2 marks. See what I'm saying? Now, I have pretty much went up to almost every single item in this house. Actually, I did go up to every single item in the house. And I can't seem to find out anything else that zooms in like that. So my theory here, as of right now, is that when more rooms unlock, there's going to be the same type of stuff that you can kind of zoom in on, and it's going to put more marks on the knot chart here from part 2. So that really intrigues me. I mean, look, we still have the conservatory here. We still have the item room. We still have, what is this one? I can't remember. The bathroom. This one here is the kitchen. And the other one is the counselor room, which I believe this is the next room to open up. I'm not 100% on that. But I do believe the counselor room is the next room that's going to be opening up. I'm not really sure when, but I hope to find something in there that is going to put another mark on this chart. And hopefully, maybe all of the rooms will activate all these marks. Not really sure. Maybe not all the marks will be in the different rooms. Maybe there's just 4 of them, you know, top, bottom, left, and right. And something may reveal. So this here has got me truly, like, hyped and intrigued. Like, I am searching so much stuff for this. So just stay tuned to my channel for that, because I may figure out the clue here. If you guys already have, then please go ahead and let me know, as you know, I'll be love to shout you guys out and show it to you guys here in a video and whatnot. Now, the top of the stairs doesn't really have too much. I really hate that this case is yellow, because it's pretty much almost the same case, in my opinion, to Shelly's case, except that was black. So it really bugs me that this yellow case is there, because it's like, I just wanted to say Shelly's bag, but I can't say that because it is yellow. More people yelling. Alright, now let's see. So we got a bunch of cans and stuff chilling around. Over here we have Ralph's bike from part 1. And then right here we have the horse collar that you could find in part 3. And then we also have this here metal tin can, kind of like maybe a milk type classic jug or something along those lines, which you will also find in part 3. And then these wooden barrels, you would think you would find them in part 3's barn, but I did a lot of searching for that yesterday, and believe it or not, they're not in the barn at all. The only place I found them was in part 5, so these wooden barrels would be in part 5. We go on down, we have the ladder once again, which is part 1. We have another one of those milk type classic cans or something along those lines maybe. And we have these barrels right here. Now the barrels, I believe these are from part 8. There is a lot of barrels in part 8 in Manhattan and whatnot. You can see a couple of pictures I'm popping up right here. You know, people are using them as fire barrels or other things and whatnot. But I do believe the barrels can be possibly from part 8. Maybe there's somewhere else, but right now my stance is part 8. The hay, I believe, is a reference to part 3, as Chris Higgins, you know, was talking about how, you know, her dad always buys all this hay every year, planning to get a horse, but all he ends up getting is just hay and no horse. And also the pitchfork here is a slender style pitchfork, so I will say that this pitchfork is the one used to kill Foxy and Loco in part 3 as well, because the pitchfork in part 2 was a bit more on the bulkier side. So we'll say this would be a part 3 reference as well to that pitchfork. Now back to the bed. Once again, you did hear me say part 2. As you can see, this is the basically a representation or a paying homage to the scene where the teenagers were kind of doing it in the bed and whatnot, and Jason came up and speared him from the back. Now we have the newspapers right here. Again, as I've told you before, that would be a part 7 reference. You know, they had him in the basement down there, and Tina pretty much, you know, used the mental powers, put gasoline on there and set him on fire and everything. Now we have this here birdcage. I am unsure where this is from, so if you do know, let me know, and I'll be sure to shout you out on Twitter and whatnot. The trophies is another thing I can just not find. I don't know where the heck to find these ones out. So that's the only two that really got me stumped. The record player is from part 3 as well in the Higgins Haven house. And come on down this way, and we got 2 more to show you, and then we will show you the awesome Jason models. All right. We have a gas can right here. Gas can, the only time you really see that represented would be in part 3. You know, when the guys were over there trying to burn down the barn and whatnot. So that would be a part 3 reference. And this one right here is very special. This is a Creepshow Ticket. Now, if you guys don't know about Creepshow, that is another movie made way back when. Really good. I mean, it's kind of like a horror movie. It's got like 5 movies, or 5 mini horrors all put together, and this is kind of like a Tom Savini reference, I would say, as he pretty much did the effects and whatnot for this movie, along with the Friday the 13th movies. And Tom Savini also, he acted in Creepshows 1 and 2, so, you know, this is more of a reference to him. If you guys don't know Tom Savini, he did, you know, the effects for like the first couple of movies and whatnot. He did a lot of great work here in the movie business, and he even invented the first Jason. You know what I'm saying? What Jason is, that's what you know from Tom Savini. Tom Savini is that creative mind when it comes to doing all those effects and whatnot. We got more people being murdered, and he's even making a new Jason in this game, so keep that one in mind. You can see right there at the very bottom, it says 1313 Cunningham Road. Now, Sean Cunningham, it was the director and the producer for Friday the 13th, so he's a big name here for Friday the 13th, and the ticket is labeled May 13th, 1982, so pretty cool right here. But now, on to what you guys were really wanting to see, the Jason models. All right, so again, Creepshow Ticket could, you know, is a homage to the movie, but you could also say maybe we just entered the Creepshow in itself down here. But right now you can see we have 3 Jason models to look at. The first one is from part 2. Check him out. Just give you a second in each position so you can see all the detail. We'll go ahead and spin around, and then we will pull up the info on them. Look at that pickaxe. Nice little shine. You can see the wood detail, the metal detail. Looks really good. You can almost see the stitch work in the denim. It looks really good. These guys are doing an awesome job over there at Gunmeat and Ilphonic. I mean, I couldn't, you know, want anything more. Like, it's just perfect in my opinion. Look at the wrinkles on the hood. Oh, awesome. Look at his eyeball too. Look at that. Man, that looks so good. I can't wait to play this game. I'm gonna be chopping people up left and right. Alright. And we have our info here for Friday the 13th Part 2. See if we can't get both him and the info in frame here a little bit. That about does it. Okay, after surviving his supposed drowning and living alone in the woods for more than 20 years, Jason emerges just in time to witness the murder of his mother, Pamela Voorhees. This event kicks off a bloody trial of revenge. Sackhead Jason decimates nearly every counselor at the Packendack Lodge Training Center. Only the aspiring child psychologist Jenny Field is able to outsmart and eventually defeat Jason. Deep inside his dark despair lair, let's see, an epic ending for sure. But one question still remains, where the hell is Paul? Which I am saying the same thing. Ever since I saw that movie, you know, Jenny gets grabbed at the end, and Paul was kind of messing with the cat. She comes out, and it's like, Paul, like, what happened to him? Like, we're going to assume he's dead, but really, we don't truly know. So yeah, we'll go with that. All right, that was 2. Now we're going to go on to part 3. Jason Check him out. Let's give him another good look. Look at his eyes again. Once again, looks really cool, really detailed. Look at that mask. Man. Look at the hands. So much great work these guys are doing. Down to the feet. Look at the top of that axe, too. See the wood that's inside there in the hole? It just looks like it should be. I mean, it's perfect. Alright, from the side. Got that little bit of chunkiness like this particular Jason had. He'd probably still kick my ass, though, so... Of course, we still have people yelling and screaming. Gotta love the detail, man. Look at that axe. Look at the grain in the wood. I mean, it's awesome. Look at the wrinkles in the skin. The vein on his side of his head. Oh, man. I mean, they are really putting it to work right here. So pumped for this game. Alright, on to the info, shall we? Alright, get him in frame a little bit there. There we go. Alright, so this is from Friday the 13th, Part 3. It says, after barely surviving his encounter with Ginny in Part 1, Jason sets his sights on a new section of Crystal Lake, Higgins Haven. Sporting the iconic hockey mask and an impressive muscular build, Jason doles out punishment in glorious 3D as he kills nearly everyone in sight. Only after being stabbed, hung, and struck in the head with an axe is Jason finally defeated by the heroine Chris Higgins in one of the series of best endings. Friday the 13th Part 3, a horror icon was thanks to Friday the 13th Part 3, a horror icon was born that still strikes fear in the hearts of millions more than 30 years later. After August 13th, 1982, a hockey mask would never look the same again. That is true. Alright, so that is Part 3. Alright, now who is this guy? You all should know him. Part 7 Jason, guys. Check it out. Chain on his neck. All that zombification look, or whatever you want to call it. The deterioration of flesh. Looks so freaking awesome. This is by far my most favorite Jason. Not necessarily my most favorite Friday the 13th movie, but this is my favorite Jason. Right here, hands down. Part 7. Check him out. Look at what I'm seeing here on the side of his head, too. Look at the teeth coming out the side of his face. They did not miss a beat when it came to detailing Jason. He just looks so awesome. Look at those fingers, man. Look at the spine. This just makes me do my happy dance. I can't tell you enough, man. And, of course, the machete. Look at all that detail. Still out there murdering people. I tell you, this by far is the Jason that I want to unlock and play the most right here, Part 7. Alright, so let's go ahead, get the info, and we will see right here, Friday the 13th, Part 7, The New Blood. Oh, wait, let's get him in frame here. There we go. Part 7. Alright. Drowned and chained to the bottom of Crystal Lake at the end of Friday the 13th, Part 6, Jason lives. It's the telekinetic Tina Shepard, Part 7's final girl. that mistakenly brings Jason back to life. The New Blood features several instance battle scenes, creative brutal kills, sleeping bag anyone, and memorable characters. But more importantly, this film marks the first time Kane Hodder would step into the role of Jason Voorhees. Kane's intimidation portrayal of Jason quickly propelled him into a fan favorite and ultimately allowed Kane to don the hockey mask for the next 3 films. Oh yeah, I'm telling you. Part 7, Jason, that's my boy right there. I'm going to be hunting all you guys down this. Oh man, I can't wait to play with him. Also can't wait to play as the counselor, so I'm really excited about that counselor room. Now, before we go here, you can see we have some of the other tanks here. They all have, drapes and curtains on them and stuff like that. So these should open up as they create the other Jason models. So basically what it's looking like is they're still working on them. They're not finished, so as soon as they're finished, I'm sure they will go ahead and put them in the new updates, as again, this is a what do you want to call it, like evolving cabin. It's growing as they create new things. They're going to be putting them into the cabin. So as you can see, we still have some work to go. That is not the only Jasons in the game. There are more. If you guys haven't seen any of my other videos, please go ahead and check them out, because I have a lot of great detailed information, particularly on things like Jason, counselors, and the maps. So guys, I hope y'all enjoyed the video, and I hope it helps you out, and if it did, please feel free to go ahead and slap that like button down below, and don't forget to subscribe to join the Charminati today. And you guys are more than welcome to go ahead and comment below and follow me on Twitter to stay up to date with all my YouTube videos. I'm CharminEXSoft, and as always, thanks for watching, and y'all come back now, you hear?